Hello, comrades, and welcome to Transport Fever 2. Yes, really. Uh, I figured since Transport Fever 3 was just announced, I would go back and play Transport Fever 2, which I've never seriously done. I have about an hour and a half in the game, or had about an hour and a half before I started trying to play. Um, Ended up having to reinstall it. Something was messed up. It wouldn't start a map. I really don't know where to begin with this. I'm just going to go in. I took some recommendations. I was going to go with everything on medium, but I took some recommendations from people on exactly what to do. And honestly, I might want to make this like a 1x3. I used to like doing that on Transport Fever 1, but I think this is fine. I think what we have here is fine. Um, Next page, USA, difficulty medium, because why not? Up to 4 cargo types, sure. Uh, Industry density target low, I guess. No, so I kind of just want to jump into this, and we'll talk about sort of my thoughts on the Transport Fever 3 announcement. And I'm only going to record one episode today, probably. It depends how much I get into it. But I'm going to have to learn this game as we go. So, let me hit start. Hopefully nothing bugs out too bad. And here we are. It actually did manage to load into the game. That's good. That's very nice. I paused it because we already lost a month of time at the beginning, which is... Oh. Tip, build stations in towns or industries to transport people. Okay. I suppose I could slow this down, right? Like I could just have it sort of run forever on the same day. I don't know if I want to mess with that. It's appealing to me, sort of automatically appealing to me after OpenTTD, which I feel like that's kind of my problem. Oh, this seems promising. Kind of my problem is I'm so used to OpenTTD that nothing will ever compare, and whatever expectations I am putting upon Transport Fever 3 are far too high. But that's why I'm trying not to have any expectations whatsoever. No, I'm just looking at the industries here, and the relatively simple industry chains, and I thought this was bread. That's iron ore. And we need to find an industry chain that we can complete that isn't problematic, that is simple, that is easy, and that has a place where it wants to go. And I think this is the place. I think we're going to start with this. And I remember, okay, so it's middle mouse button to do that. I remember, line statistics, vehicle, station, town. Okay, those are all statistics. What is this? Context help. What is this? Warnings. There are no warnings. Okay, well that's good. It's good that there are no warnings. If I go to trains, this tracks, buildings, signals, waypoints. Passing trains use their horn. Oh, that's kind of neat. I would love to see this vehicle manager. There used to be plenty of... Okay, there's our finances. Cool. There used to be map settings. Can I see map settings? Is that up here? Nope, that's that. Tip, layers make it possible to focus on specific information. Oh, it's up here. It's under the frames per second thing. Land use, track speed limits, destinations, cargo. Okay. Interesting. Oh, so it's one commercial and one industrial good for each town. That's clever. Stations layer, street traffic layer. What? Player owned. Oh. What does that do? Can I like keep cars off the street? Interesting. What is this? Oh, emissions. Oh, right, that's a thing. No, that's navigable waters. Contour lines. Okay, it was the very top one that I could barely see under the FPS indicator. This is what I need to see. This area is all pretty flat, and I think we're fine with that. I'll make a stub station here, and then I'll just run tracks across this way to here, and then I think this can be handled by truck. Um, and every industry has an internal truck station now, right? Um, construction materials plant. But if I remember anything about the original game, you have to have everything connected before anything does anything at all. Cargo Terminus Station. Well, that's interesting. Costs 100 grand, 183 grand. We have 5 million, so I'm not super worried about that. And then let's see. All right, where did my contour lines go? Okay, yeah, I don't really love the fact that it looks like I'm in the Twilight Zone when I have the contour lines on. That's kind of interesting. It really is amazing to me how foreign yet familiar this game is. Um, okay, hold on. If I want to turn this around, like, no, I don't want it. I don't want that. I want. Can I? I mean, let's imagine that I do this, right? Then. Oh shoot, that's navigable waters. That's not what I wanted. Uh, then this is going to be. I don't know if this is in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Honestly, I don't. I'm going to assume it's kilometers per hour. And either way, I don't think there's a problem with our freight train slowing down to 68 kph to get into this area here, to get into the station. Next up, I'm going to need a depot, right? Train depot. It's not quite open TTD. You don't really need the depots for much except for buying trains. So that's fine. Just, give me room to get it out of here. And now let's see what we have available for trains. Oh, I'm in the vehicle manager now. What if I click on? Nope, still in the vehicle manager. How do I? Oh, there's a buy button. Oh, Baldwin Six Wheels, my old friend. Okay, Baldwin Six Wheels. We need something that carries what? Stone, right? Rock and stone. So the gondola is probably it. Now, this place can produce up to 400, and I know it'll scale to meet sort of my needs here. So I'll buy a locomotive, and then I'll buy capacity of 7. Wow, that's pretty low. Oh, I can set a color. Can I make it gray? Like it's the stone train. I'll make it gray, perhaps. And then 7... I mean, I don't really care if it's low, because this area is flat. 49 capacity, so that's almost 50 capacity. Buy for $1.5 million. Oh, now it's poor. Okay, so maybe I will get rid of one. Alright, let's buy one. Ka-ching! That's train number 1. Vehicle here, I need to... Details... Finances? No. Overview. I need to assign to a line, right? Set line, new line. Okay, this is familiar. From Lexington to Concord. No, Lexington Annex. And we're going to say over here, let's do... Oh, I can set minimum and maximum stop time. Full load any. And then let's say maximum stop time is 5 minutes. See, that's something that I would love to have in Open TTD. You can sort of set that, but not quite. And then is this let's just call this Lex Stone line. And then do I tell you to go? I know I'm paused. Okay, so no, it was already going. All right, let me unpause. Let's see you. Hopefully the volume is not too loud. I turned it down to half. Well, I turned the actual, like, in-game volume way down. I'm not sure if that's the, I'm not sure if that is the whistle that Baldwin Six Wheels would have had. Alright, yeah, you're gonna mosey on in there, you're gonna pick up stuff. This is a cargo station, right? It looks a little fancy. Oh, there's already stone! Okay, they're definitely on to us. Okay, and so that's fine. Oh, you know what that means? That's interesting, because that means that, like, yes, I absolutely need to transport things from here, or else it'll back up, right? But it doesn't mean that I have to have everything set up immediately. In addition to the pause modes, there are 3 game speeds: real-time, double, and quadruple speed. Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Oh, I didn't want to sink that into the ground. Apparently that's what those keys do. So we also need a truck stop, right? And, oh, let's look at... Oh, it's already on. I was going to say, let's look at the cargo here. I need a truck stop that covers... Oh, that pretty handily covers the entire town. Let's move it down to there. And then... Does this have an inbuilt truck stop? I can't actually tell. Lines. Let's do a new line. No. Okay, no, it does not. I don't know why I thought that was a thing. Maybe that's a mod, or maybe that happens when... Maybe something else happens with that. Oh, Oceanside Quarry. Oh, there's 2 suppliers. Where's the other quarry? Oh, is that just looking at the whole map and telling me where I can get stuff? Also, Oceanside is probably not actually Oceanside. No, it's pretty far from the thing. Okay, and so there's the Oceanside Quarry. Which makes another handy little setup, except there's nowhere for it to go in Oceanside. I guess you could bring it down to Montgomery here. I should probably try to grow Lexington, right? Which means I should probably build some sort of passenger transportation system. Maybe between it and Rockford. If we look at our contour lines here. I mean, there is a little bit of a mountain for us to go over, but it's not crazy. So, alright. We have to build a truck station here, right? And terminals. Charts. Configure. Oh, okay. Cargo buildings. What do these do? Oh, it adds capacity. Oh, that's fascinating. Maybe I should add capacity to this thing down here, because it seemed like it filled up immediately. Oh, that train's already gone. Oh, thank you for the tip. I'm good with that tip now. Amazingly, it's not going the speed that would be a problem. Also, don't look too closely at this. Sometimes the new game has the same old quirks. Okay. We need a truck station here, right? Keep getting distracted. I'm thinking about this game, you know? I want to think about this game, and I want to think about the next game, right? Because I'm really interested to see, and I watched the trailer on Terrain. I'm really interested to see what Transport Fever 3 will bring to the table, right? Because it's going to take a lot to impress me, and I'll sort of go, you know, I'm going to go in with my understanding of, like, yeah, this isn't going to be 30 years worth of modded open TTD. But no, this one. How do I? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. That's why. No stations have been added yet. Add stations to see them here. Okay. Oh, add station button. There we go. It's right in front of my face. and then there, right? And that's it. That's all we need. Okay. This game, it really does not matter if, like I'm taking all my open TTD thoughts and bringing them into here, and it does not, like, I don't need to do that. American horse-drawn carriage or American horse-drawn carriage? Alright. This is passengers only. This is everything. Do I need to set... I remember in Transport Fever 1 you had to set what cargo it was going to carry. Now that didn't seem to be a problem for the train, so I'm going to assume that it's not going to be a problem for the road vehicles. Oh. Can I set a route? Set line. Lex bricks. And now they should leave the road depot and go there. And is this place making bricks? Yes, it is. Okay, this is interesting. But yeah, no, I think it is cool how much time they're spending on the terrain. Because these games have always been fairly pretty. You know, that's definitely something that this series has had going for it. It makes for some damn pretty vistas. On the flip side, though, it does feel like they're not doing it from first principles. They're not doing it necessarily based on geology, which is what tickles my fancy, you know. Because I noticed areas where it's like, oh, water could pool in this area and have no escape. Like if we look at the contour lines here, and let me turn them back on. If you look at the contour lines here, and I wish I could hide some of this other stuff, but the trees are the trees. No, can I? No, that doesn't help. Wish I could hide the trees. I don't know. I probably can do that. I just don't know how. These are bowls, you know. If it were to rain, these would fill up with water, and water would eventually flow out this way, but not before drowning out both of these towns. And that's not how real life works. And building your terrain with respect to real life and with respect to water is going to give you, more realistic terrain, obviously, but is also, and perhaps more importantly, going to give you a kind of gameplay that is engaging because it makes your world feel real. That being said, I don't think this has that problem, really, too much. I think the original Transport Fever, the first Transport Fever, not Train Fever, but Train Fever 2 had a little bit of a problem with stuff being up on shelves, with there being like these huge steep inclines between one set of towns and another, and those are still present, but they're not nearly as egregious as they used to be. And, the terrain is much better for gameplay. And I think that's important, because if there's anything that I've figured out... I need to add a second train, don't I? If there's anything that I've figured out with OpenTTD, it's that throwing down a realistic height map does not necessarily automatically guarantee you a good map to play on. It needs to be diverse, it needs to be interesting, and it needs to be challenging. So, despite the fact that despite the fact that I'm not, super impressed by the realism of the maps, I understand that is not really the point, and ultimately, that's fine. At the end of the day, that's perfectly fine. So they're going into it with an ear for gameplay. They're going into it with an ear for beauty and variety. And it really does feel like an iteration on this, which feels like an iteration on Transport Fever 1, which feels like an iteration on Train Fever. And if there's anything that we can sort of ask for from game developers, right? If there's anything that we can ask for, it is to take what already works and go from there. You know, take what already works and iterate on it and make more of that, because it clearly works for them. Okay, is there a way for me to copy a vehicle? What does this button do? Okay, no, not that. Cargo type, manage vehicle. Oh, there we go. Clone selected vehicle. Ka-ching! And it already puts it on the line. How perfect. I'm sure, like, this is a well-designed UI. I'm just not used to anything from this, century. Construction materials plant. How you doing? 4% transported. That's a little disappointing. I think we're going to have to do better than this. Manage vehicle. Clone. 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 How much does Lexington want? And do I see if it's growing? Where are the residential buildings and where are the other buildings? If I remember right, if this is anything like the last game, citizens go from home to job in industry area to home to commercial building, and then back, and they just repeat like that. So if I were to build some sort of transportation infrastructure here, what I would want to do is I would want to... Oh my god, I'm $1 million in the hole. Oh wait, that's total earnings. Okay. I was looking at earnings, not at account. Alright, calm down. Everything's fine. That must be like for the year, right? Must be. So, what's next? Alright, hello. Are you train 1 or train 2? You're train 1. You're struggling. But, you still, that's the speed that you go at. I think we're going to be okay. Can I click on the birds? Nothing to see here, it says. Cranes flock. Can I follow them? Oh, shoot. Where are you going? I'm gonna be Annie Austin here. I'm gonna see where the birds fly to. And if you're watching this and you don't know who Annie Austin is, go look him up. A fantastic YouTube channel. I think they just sort of do circles. Okay, so I understand why, like... I understand why this is appealing now, I can just sit here, I can let the date stay the same, which, separating these out like that and just letting the game play without advancing the date is honestly a brilliant feature. Okay, anyway. How's this doing? Seems to be doing alright. Now, what is the other thing this needs? It needs goods, and we have a goods factory here. Goods takes steel and Legos. I guess that's what that is. Steel comes from a steel plant, which is down here, and then would have to go through this mountain, up this way, to there. We also need coal for the steel plant, right? Which, coal is over there. Rule, that and that makes that. Okay. Yeah, the biggest problem with this game is that is the way you have to set up the whole industry chain. It's honestly fairly brilliant in that regard, like with the way everything works. It's very clever, but I think it actually kind of presents a gameplay headache. I don't like it. If I'm off base on that, call me out, because I might be alone there, you know? But I don't know, there's something about the way it's handled that just is not my favorite. So, something I should do, considering, residential to industrial, and then back to residential, and then back to commercial, and then back to residential. Whoa, hello. Okay, so the town is growing. um, what is this? If I mouse over, number of residents is stable, but it just went up. It's clearly moving. So I want to set something else up. I've got 750 grand. If I set up a bus network here, I should do here to to the industrial area, right? So to here, replacing existing. No, I don't want to replace existing. Is it because it's too close? That's interesting. Well, what if I put it on the other side? And then back to there, and then... Well, what if I put a bus stop here, too? And then... down... here. Okay? Now bear with me for a second. If I get a road depot over here, and then I want my line to go, let's see, new line, getting used to this now, from there, through there, to there. Wow, this place is like exploding in population now. We've just watched things grow twice in a row. There, back to there, back to there, back to Cedar Street, down to here, and then back to Cedar Street. Okay? Like, how about that? I'm not sure I like that. Okay, so this is going to be, we're going to call this Lex Bus. We have Lex Bricks and Lex Bus. And then we're going to buy a horse-drawn carriage, a regular one, right? The American carriage has slightly less emissions than the regular horse-drawn carriage, which I don't know about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6. Why not? That seems like a reasonable number. And then we're going to assign these to Lex Bus. I'm sure I'll get used to some of these things. Look at them go. Oh, you just cut him off. What the hell? Come on, Amanda Rogers. Your father wouldn't appreciate this. I assume her father is Mr. Rogers. Commercial building, commercial building, commercial building, commercial building. Yeah, thanks. Oh, shoot. Okay. I got an achievement. Yippee. I feel like we're going to be getting a lot of those. We got an industrial and commercial mix going on here. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, actually. If I click on this, destinations. So everybody wants to go here. Oh, somebody wants to go to Rockford. So Rockford's down here. That's a little bit of a distance to go by horse and buggy, so I might want to do that via train. And also, if for whatever reason I go completely nutso, and I decide that the best course of action is to drill a tunnel through the mountain, a secret tunnel even, astonishingly that's a lot of money, more than I have. It seems there's not enough money. It's possible to take out a loan. Thanks, bud. You know, I did figure that one out. But if I were to build a secret tunnel through the mountain, and then brought it down to here, I could actually use it for coal and then I could run steel back up this way over this line that we're building to the Lego and steel factory here. Can I put down more than one piece of... No, planning track at a time, I cannot. The question is, where do I get Legos? Plastic. Yeah, those... Damn, that 1850s plastic. That's got to be like hydrocarbon chain, right? So here's oil wells. Oil to... Two oil to one oil. Oh, two crude oil to one oil. Oil to fuel. Or oil to plastic. Okay. Is this the only plastic plant on the map? That's going to make my life a little tricky, I think. Oh, no, there's one way over here. That's worse. Okay. See, that oil production chain is a real bear, and that's asking a lot. You know, you got to build a lot to get really much money at all out of that. If it works the way that it did in the old game. Which I have no idea if it does, personally. I have no idea. Plano also wants bricks, which is interesting. I could again drill a tunnel through here to get to Plano. There's also more coal over there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wood-related industries in the same bunch. I mean, there's 4 logs and 1 sawmill. Get out the one meme. You know the one I mean. But this doesn't take logs. This makes machines? Makes machines. Who wants machines? Oh, nobody wants machines. You have to take machines somewhere else. There are 2 places that make machines. And... where... Oh no, there are 2 places that make... Yeah, 2 places that make machines. And then where do they need to go? Where do the machines need to go? Because this takes... This takes what? Oh, let's see it. Tools. Okay, those are tools. I would have assumed they were machines. Maybe no towns take... Oh, wait, no, Tulsa takes machines. Okay. So I'm about to say, maybe no town takes machines until you get them to grow a little bit. But... Okay. Interesting. And I wonder if the things I assumed from the first game hold true. I kind of want to go into this with an open mind. I don't really want to compare it to Transport Fever 1. And of course, Transport Fever 1, I did my traditional thing, as a PC gamer does, and I modded it to the gills. So, you know, there's no like rhyme or reason. There's no reasonable comparison between that game and this game for me. There's no comparison between any games, really. Between this and OpenTTD, between this and Locomotion, even. Train Fever, Transport Fever 1. You know, I don't remember what base Transport Fever 1 was like. I barely remember what modded Transport Fever 1 was like, because I haven't booted up the game in 3 years almost. Excuse me. Whoops. Excuse me. And it would be nice to dip back into that again, but OpenTTD is king. And I hate to admit it. I don't really hate to admit it. You know what I mean. Okay, so goods come from here. Is there a chart to see how much money stuff makes me? Because I'm going to imagine that the later products make you more money than the earlier products. Stored in consumption. Oh, there's all the suppliers. I need to know if my assumptions are still valid, you know. Because right now, 82 stored, 100 consumption, 48 shipment. How much is Lexington demanding? It's demanding 48. Okay, so that's why there's only 48 shipped. I need to get it to somewhere else, which is probably going to be Plano. And Plano demands 70 of it. But the problem is Plano is on the other side of the known universe. Actually, no. I should have a train to. I should make a mixed train to Rockford. That's what I should do. I should. Well, the problem is you can't load up passengers and cargo at the same station. So doing mixed trains is not as good of an idea as it is in some other games. Like, there's a way to mix it, but I know the game is not happy about that. I've looked into that. Which, for all the adjustments with the station system in this game, I'm surprised. I hope Transport Fever 3 takes that to its logical conclusion, right? And we get more residential buildings. We get stations that just sort of do whatever. Honestly, a game that I miss playing is Mashinki, and I've only played a tiny amount of that, but the way they handle upgrading stuff is really interesting to me. It's something that I kind of wish other games would look at and maybe adopt. At least tycoon games like this. And full credit, right? OpenTTD, not OpenTTD. This game, Transport Fever 2 has done a little bit of that with the buildings where I can add stuff, right? I can add where did they go? I thought, what am I missing? I swear to God, I saw a thing where I could add stuff. Buildings. Cargo station. No, wait. It's going to here. Terminals, right? Configure. That's right. I can add stuff like this. Street access for cargo stations. Large main building. Large side building. Small side building. Adds more space for cargo items. I'm really not sure how useful that is, but side entrance, platforms, passenger buildings. If I were to do this here, right, because the platforms are... Passenger platform and cargo platform are totally different things. You can't have them share. I kind of wish you could, because then you could just add the buildings for capacity. Transport Fever devs hear my cry and do this. Whoa, that's a fancy looking commercial building. Can I see this? Okay, yeah, we're starting to get some saturated colors in here, which shows that these buildings are worth more. They're making more money off the land use. So there's that. Okay, this has been interesting. Oh! I just saw us break back into the black there. Finances chart. Look at that. Look at how we're doing. We're doing so well. We're already on year 3. You know, I might just mostly leave. Oh shoot. Okay, it's right click to move. I might just sort of leave this rolling. Something mysterious. I might just sort of leave that rolling, and we'll wrap up this series when that's all done. We'll sort of see how much money we have, whatever we've done. Yeah, it's a cool game. It's a pretty game. Adding to the beautification is nice. I wish they would do more with things that weren't that, but all that remains to be seen in future devlogs. I have very little doubt that that's going to be, you know, there's going to be focus and improvement on other aspects. Good. Oh, growth 56 residents. Holy cow! Look at that. Okay, so this is what's pushing our target population 94 plus 70 is 159. Oh, I like that. You can see that. That's really cool. Um, and yeah, we should be looking at a way to get to Rockford here. And maybe, we've got a couple of minutes in this episode left. I'll try and lay that out really quick. Or, you know what? No, let's save that for next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Monday with more Transport Fever 2, hopefully. Be sure to check into our Discord for anything fun like that, and check out our website, theironhorseman.com, for things like our steam locomotive trading cards. We're not sponsored, but we basically are. And of course, check out Yacht Club Sodas. We're not sponsored by them either. I'll see you next week. This is the Admiral, signing off.